Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for keynote address of our beloved Circle Secretary Shri Amit Sarkar, Sanchar Nigam Executives Association, Calcutta Telephones. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Our President sir, respected Dr. Bishri Pal sir, DDG, West Bengal LSA Doc, Shri Devashish Sarkar sir, respected CGM CTD, our CGM KC Ghosh sir, CGM CNTX, our GS Sebastian sir, AGS Dilip Shah sir, and all other circle secretaries and distinguished guests, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, this keynote address is mainly meant for executives of CTD. In last 3 years or little more, we witnessed an unexpected transformation in work culture in CTD, all perhaps due to compelling market scenario, growing sharp decline of staff strength due to VRS, lack of honored reciprocation from government or local bodies, and a radical change in administrative approach as well as government policy. BSNL brought in all kinds of services available but could not stem the losses over the years. 5 years back, just when we were turning around through operational profit, Reliance Jio entered the market, overruling of the existing rule and took all telecom operators by storm. It floated the established rules on tariff pricing with impunity and started showering freebies. Government cannot shrug off the shuttle canopy extended by being mute all through and then regularizing unfair pricing model. We came across a new term known as predatory pricing. We do not know what good objective it had. If take an example, then it will be easy for us to understand the policy of the government. An amount of rupees 1.1 lakh crore AGR dues were pending to different private players reported in the year 2019, and Supreme Court had ordered telecom operators to pay rupees these amounts to the Department of Telecommunication as pending AGR dues. Vodafone Idea's dues are rupees 58,254 crore, while Bharti Airtel's dues were rupees 43,000 crore. But a relief package was announced in September 2020 to extend the support to Airtel and Vodafone Idea in a time freeze of 4 years for making payments towards their respective adjusted gross revenue. In the other hand, BSNL was left high and dry with no shock from the government and no debt in the market also, and we stand decommissioned and deprived in most of unfair way in spite of being fairly aware of that. Balance sheet means today we are at the edge, pushed by the policies tilted against us. As necessity knows no law, we broke all established convention, set aside our dignity attached to rank and post, and voluntarily ventured out without come to sell products of BSNL in every busy corner of the city. Now we don't feel shy, nor we lose a tad of prestige to hawk basket full of items in market. Perhaps the instinct for survival compels and emboldens us to take up challenges in the face of advertise. Is the challenge to earn and stay viable and visible. Of course, there could be a hot debate as to whether it is the policies that is ruining BSNL or is it sheer lack of positive outlook and professionalism that is wreaking havoc to the organization. The debate might ram into hours, but in the limited time at our disposal. This is a chance after 3 years to bring some of the salient issues, and that why, in spite of being incumbent player in the telecom like BSNL, happened to be lagging behind. In addition to that, it was noticed during my tenure that turmoil was there in everywhere, and the situation was so severe that services got totally disrupted, and a stalemate condition was there in CTD due to the unrest evolved among the JCLs, and we were passing through a critical juncture. Loss of broadband and landline connection got disconnected, revenue got slashed, and our life was at stake. Now this situation got changed only because of our prudent leadership and tenacity of our beloved previous CGM sir, Dr. Vishwajit Pal leadership, and this JCL system got abolished and SLA based system has come up, and our expenditure towards maintenance of local lead and broadband got reduced. Now SLA based system or for local lead and broadband maintenance has been evolved. Apparently it is good to see, and our sincere thanks goes to Dr. Vishwajit Pal and present CGM Mr. Devashish Sarkar sir for successful running of the CTD. Apart from that, we all understand that the rules that are being followed are not a level playing field, and the private operators are always getting an advantage over us in terms of fixing rented premises for installing towers, maybe in procuring the stores for setting up transmission network get stable, or due to large scale VRS, the vendor that had been brought in and is already have some shortcomings, and the little chances or opportunity of increasing the FTTs also is not up to the expectation. But by all bad cannot say by ending all bad. There are good and glimmers of hope, as we see that after many years Calcutta Telephones had shown a break even in the operating profit. But the face of the matter is that large number of people had taken VRS, and of course you have seen that on many years there has no regular recruitment as such, and on the contrary the people are retiring. So the norms on which the employees are working, though happens to be of yesteryears, but now such study also had been undertaken to see what optimization can be taken from norms of employment. In many cases, the executive and the employees are overstressed, even that they have to look after different position at the higher level, in spite of the fact that there is no regular promotion. Now let me come to this point. For example, BTS in BSNL Calcutta Telephones are about 100, 800, 1800. Whereas if we compare with Airtel or Reliance Jio, we find that in very short period of time, Airtel already had 4000 something BTS and Reliance came up with so much. So the question is that the very essence of competition gets defeated in the beginning itself, as far as the number of BTS concerned, which gives the coverage benefits. Even though all the employees, even the top hierarchy is also struggling to see that you optimize the network, connection with the BTSs, transmission system also have been improved a lot, and that too against the backdrop of the shortage of the equipments in bringing the OTN, CPAN, C2, C3, OTN is yet to come largely, that can make the core of transmission network strong enough in respect of bandwidth in the Calcutta Telephones, and there are huge demand from customer of corporate end also. Nowadays, they are even demanding 10G, 20G, 40G, 100G list circuit in terms of bandwidth with requirement. CPANs have made it easy to provide customer and service of different kind of demands, which are basically required according to the customer needs like land, trees, point to point and point to multi-point services. But it has the bandwidth constant also at present. It has the only 10G capacity in core, and we are unable to offer even the 10G to the customer in proper protection of system level. I would like to hear from Calcutta Telephones Authority that what is in the plan to see that these things are getting resolved. BTSS can be increased to extend large coverage around CTD's jurisdiction, along with that customer service interface with respect to the mobile customer. Unless we have an easy access, an easy way to recharge the coupon, to know the plans, to top up, and various other issues, which I suppose everybody will agree that the visibility of BSNL outlet is quite less compared to the others. I do not blame the BSNL itself for it, but the advantage of it is always clear with respect to the visibility of our customer interface, whether the service quality to be any level or not, but the visibility always gives an access to the vendors, private vendors, to have an agreement with them to take up the franchise is more than the BSNL. Let me come to the cluster-based tender also. Also the CFA. We all know that the CFA, in fact, we are in defeating position having to maintain this segment, having to maintain this copper cable. Maintenance charges as high as to deploy much more men, maintain this copper cable. Compared to the private operator wherein they were dealing with wireless equipments only. So even the situation, there should have been a lot of compensation from the government of India that did not happen, and we were failed to observe that they had bounded us to look after the landline services forcefully under the issued parliamentary obligation. Now after the VRS and retirement, the staffs got further shortened. There are no regular alignments. Mostly it has been led by the JTOs. The scheme which got replaced by the new tender under the labors, wherein we see that even the tender had having, in which the vendors are taking advantage, and we go by statistics, we see that there is a dip in the landline. Now the arguments automatically comes that the landline already become an obsolete equipment. None use it nowadays except of senior citizens, because the mobile become the way of life. So this argument is quite valid enough, but then parallelly in that case we could see that there is an end of landline era, when we should go for the FTTs, in which already Calcutta Telephones had taken initiative, enterprising initiative, to see that it comes up. One more thing is that when the franchises are being given this FTTS connection, they are we have seen there are some shortfalls observed in SLA based model. Numerous complaints have been received from customers. Docket are being cleared without rectifying the actual fault. These unethical activities maligning the image of BSNL, and it leads to huge disconnection of local landline and broadband as well. SLA based vendor is least bothered about the proper service. They have hired less number of employees for maintaining SLA, as a result of which faults are not being monitored properly and not restored in true sense as well. So far as the information is concerned, penalty imposing system is there for not meeting the SLA, but it is not being properly implemented, and finally the sufferers are the end user and the image of BSNL. It is requested to look into the matter seriously, sir. Whereas in third-party based FTTS connection model of 80-20 ratios, it is observed in many cases that the vendors who have been deployed as FTTS 80-20 ratio model are not doing properly maintenance work. Rather, they are convincing our FTTS customer to take new FTTS connection from him through 50% revenue sharing model by disconnecting existing FTTS one, as they are getting more profit. This is an serious issues in respect of BSNL. This should be stopped since it is badly affecting BSNL's revenue. On the other hand, they are converting our existing healthy DSL broadband customer into FTTS and 50% revenue sharing model. Third-party OLTs are being installed in the place, while BSNL OLTs are already there, and they are trying to give the new FTTS connection from their own OLT, that is third-party OLT. But whatever be it, an optimization norm is to be worked out for deployment of good officers who can oversee these franchises such that they do not overtake our activity and then take our customer to other operators, and then puts a high stake in Calcutta Telephones for increased revenue sharing where we will be left small amount of customer. So wherever we go, be it our transmission network, be it our CMTS, something should be there to be worked out in practical manner such that there is an optimization and there is a feasible way of maintaining the network, maintaining the systems, growing the services at every end. There is a demoralized people in Calcutta Telephones also, vis-a-vis in BSNL also, and they are working in a very terrible situation, sir. Our CGM, sir, I want to draw your attention, sir. We have seen, we have come with a system of EPP, we have come with the system of promotion over there, and because of various litigation and promotion are not happening now, and you see, sir, the people who are their basic level, almost all are looking after to a higher position. Now the question comes, they are drawing higher pay scale, where we do agree, we are getting higher pay scale, sir. But that was a treaty made in 2000. We are not violating the treaty. It was just for the treaty. But can you think, sir, the particular segment of the people not getting promotion, which form the base of inspiration for work, is eroding out. Sir, can you not please write up to the administration of CMD that this inspiration is required as far as the deprivation in respect of promotion, deprivation in respect of pay scale of E2 and E3, and there is the deprivation in the PRC also. Imagine of the consequences that are befalling on us in this market where the inflation is going very high and we are unable to neutralize our pay scale with respect to the PRC also, whereas CPSC already held. Sir, we also look forward such fundamental matter should be written to the CMD office from every circle such that it comes to percolate that there is a necessity to change the outlook of the administration. In spite of that, we are not saying or confessing that we are not at fault or not having shortcoming. We do have certain shortcomings in the employees of the offices, but it is also true that the administration is equally liable to see that those shortcomings are sealed and right inspiration is given to work. Anywhere in the department across the nation can't expect a pool of officers working on the same wavelength. There are differences, but those differences should be adjusted by the in charges, by the appropriate authorities. As these days there is a severe shortcomings of the staffs after VRS specifically and severe shortcomings of the equipments coming forth. In spite of that, we are putting up a brave battle to see the services goes on. I would like to mention here that even during the pandemic of Corona, the entire nation come to a standstill. We the BSNL employees had attended work and seen that all government links can communicate or host video conferencing. In such a situation, we are delivering. It comes our expectation automatically to the crisis we are facing today. As usual, sir, the association and management happen to be interface of communicating the grievances of the employees. The management also understand the crisis and our rule. Before I conclude, I wish to profusely thank our beloved Dr. Vishri Pal sir, our CGM, Sri Devashish Sarkar sir. Though his tenure was very short, but he played important pivotal role in same vertical for increase of revenue nearly about double compared to the previous year, and all dignitaries who have consented to grace the occasion and address the August House. We have special marks of appreciation to our previous CGM and our CGM Sri Devashish Sarkar sir, who have brought about a massive change in work culture as well as cutting of cost in different vertical and CTD and made CTD ABTDA positive in the financial year 2021 and hope the same for current financial year also under the able leadership of our beloved CGM sir. The rebukes, inspiration and needs will work a lot in terms of getting connection, arresting faults, changing work culture, which will surely bring the outstanding financial performance this year also. I feel I could fairly convey the crux of both grievances and satisfaction of the executive of the right perspective. Whatever be the controversy, at the end of the day, it's the work and conviction that own the game. With warm regards, sir. Thank you, sir. Long life BSNL, long life SNEA, long life Calcutta Telephones. Thank you, sir.
Please have a big round of applause, please. Thank you very much, our beloved CS, for his enriched keynote address. When he touched upon the highlights and special issues, we have had its own spice and flavor. Please have another round of applause for his special enriched keynote address. Please.